So something is happening.
Okay.
Oh, you'll see it on your thing. Oh, it says now we are now live. We're streaming
All
live.
right.
Hello, hello, hello. Facebook
Hi,
land.
Phoenix.
Phoenix in quarantine, day 5. And
Woo!
today I've got a very special guest with me, my dear sister, friend, mentee, fellow cosmonaut, Mariana Ramsey, from the United States, Minnesota. Um, we actually just completed our monthly new moon ceremony, which I'm feeling a bit high from. It was really, really good. Just to dance, go a little wild inside of my quarantine room here. And just want to thank Mariana again for being here. We don't know how this is going to go, so that's the point, just not having anything prepared or polished. This is the experiment, just showing up in quarantine. So, Mariana, welcome.
Hi, Phoenix. Thank you so much for inviting me. This is my first time being interviewed live on Facebook, so I'm quite excited and nervous.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I just want to welcome you and thank you for saying yes. Like one of the things that I've been really inspired is, as I'm like doing these every day, it just like the vision is crystallizing, and yeah, it feels really important to interview and honor the people that have been part of my journey these past couple of months, and you've definitely been one of those divine beings on my journey these past couple of months, being helping me with the full moon ceremonies and new moon ceremonies, and being one of my favorite mentees that I work with and coach. And yeah, I feel like you and I have been on such a yeah, an extraordinary journey since we met last year. Mariana called me a week before the Dancing Freedom training last year. I was on a beach and on the Gold Coast getting ready to go up the mountain to teach the training, and I get this phone call from this woman in the States. It's just like, "Who are you? What are you doing? I need to be there. Can I come?" And a week later, she was on a plane from the United States. She did the whole training with us, and it's just been such a joy getting to know you since then. So, yeah, I would love to just open the space really for you to share what, because I've like we're all been in quarantine. I really want to kind of explore what's been moving, what's been churning in you these past few months while you've been there in Minnesota during quarantine, and also some really serious shit going down in America. How's it been for you? Yeah.
Hmm. Well, it's been definitely quite the journey and the roller coaster of emotions at the beginning of quarantine. I remember going back to the beginning of the year when I set my intentions. I was calling in, the possibility to work closer with mentors, and I wanted to have a lot of time to dive deep into my studies and to have more time to reconnect with old friends and with family, and to focus on my newly acquired tools from Dancing Freedom. And boom, ask and you shall receive. And that's exactly what happened. So when the whole quarantine started, I was like, oh, this is exactly what I asked for this time. Um, for myself, and just to finally read all these books that I have been acquiring, and to have time to um, study and to have access to all these offerings that suddenly people were doing online. And I was just thinking, oh, okay, this is good. And especially when you start offering yourself your own offerings online, I was like, what are the odds that Phoenix is all the way in Australia and I get to connect with you and also to be part of all your classes, and you offer the alchemy group for women, and all these ceremonies. And I was just so happy to be in touch with you and with more people all over the world. But then, of course, as we know, the quarantine got extended and it felt longer and longer, and I was not quite prepared for that shift. Like, from being in this bliss, like, oh, I have all this time and we're reconnected, it went to, oh, but now I'm not getting in touch with real people and I'm not seeing faces. And as someone that is very into touching and hugging, I was no longer connecting to others and getting that physical connection, or even being in the presence of one another and sensing the energy was something that was not there anymore. And I start feeling this deep longing and that loneliness. And yeah, I'm gonna set also falling into the fear of, okay, what is going to happen now? At first it was good to suspend plans, but now it's like it's no longer that we're postponing plans. We don't know until when plans are even gonna happen. And I am from Mexico, my family is in Playa del Carmen, and even my trips or the possibility of seeing them soon was taken away from me. And falling into that frustration and desperation, like the world really stopped. Now what? And at the same time realizing, like, the world stopped not just for me. This is not about me. Like, we're going into this collective pause, and we're all navigating through this pause in many different ways and with different tools to navigate these times.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm curious, like, what are some of the ways and some of the tools that you've been utilizing to keep you grounded and anchored? And obviously, I know a lot about what's going on in your life, and like and we'll get to it as well with the Black Lives Matter being kind of at the heart of the heart where it all happened. Yeah, I'm curious, like, what have you been how have you been keeping yourself centered and grounded and anchored during this time?
Thank you, Phoenix. So yeah, I want to say that I'm here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where this whole movement was birthed, and it was a big catalyst. And this is the place
Because
where,
George Floyd is from that, like, it happened in
yes,
Minneapolis, right?
it
Yeah.
happened 10 minutes away from my neighborhood. And this is the place where George Floyd rest in power. And I was just thinking, what are the odds that Minnesota, which I call now my home, it's also a very, white state. And there's always been this conflict between the lands and the people, and seeing this movement with so much power and deep, mourning exploding here, right? On my backyard was huge. It's still huge. I still feel the resonance of that.
And what was it like? I
Especially,
mean, can you? Yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I
I'm
mean,
just
I am in the group of the minorities here, and I at this day still struggle, being a minority and showing up in spaces where are predominant white, and knowing that there's white people that want to be allies, but there's also white supremacy. And that's something that me and a lot of people that are from minorities struggle a lot. And I feel sometimes we don't really have these frameworks to navigate these courageous race conversations that I feel they are much needed. Because at the end, we're not talking about which race is better or not. We just need to remember that we're all human. And we, as you say, Phoenix, we are all indigenous to these lands. And these are times that we need to come together and assist each other and support us rather than being divided because of our skin color.
yeah. And what was it like? I mean, can you paint us like what was your perspective of that when it happened in Minnesota? Like, I remember you just feeling really overwhelmed, and but what was it like? Because I think I was still here in Australia when that happened, and I remember connecting with you, and it must have been really
Yeah.
scary and really overwhelming. I mean, here we're so far removed here in Australia from like what was going on there. But I can imagine being there, like at the heart of it, must have been pretty wild.
It was quite shocking. And the day before, I remember stepping outside of my yard and just tapping into the collective, feeling the energies. And I remember how the wind was blowing so strongly. And I came inside my house and I told my partner, like, you know what? This may sound crazy to you, but I feel the wind and the winds are changing and there's a shift going on. And he was like, yeah, are you talking about the pandemic? I was like, I don't know, but I feel something big is about to happen and it's going to be here, like close to us. And then the next morning I woke up and it was all over the place. It was on the news. And as soon as I saw what happened, I didn't really want to watch the whole video because something deep inside my core was telling me like, I don't know if I want to see that because I already know that something, profound and deep was going to happen, and it was going to shock everyone and to stop everyone into actually questioning what is going on with the system, what is going on with these ways that we have been relating. There's a lot of people that never question the political systems or the social structures. And I feel like in this pause of the pandemic, people have more time to actually question more the reality that we live in, and to question that your reality may not be the same one that your peers of different color.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's such a wild climate. So much is shifting and changing right now on the planet in so many ways, in so many ways. And
Mhm.
I know for myself sometimes it feels really, yeah, it feels really disempowering, or I feel really helpless and I don't know like where to place my energy or where to place my attention. And then yeah, it's like just coming back to myself and realizing that it's like, oh, I've got this little piece of the garden that I can tend to. And yeah, and trusting that that's enough, trusting that that's enough. I mean, being kind of in this yeah, it's like it, staying kind and being kind to myself when I feel like I don't know what more I can do to be in action to support these bigger causes. And then again, trusting that the ways in which I show up with the ceremonies and supporting people in the way that I do, that's my little piece to add to the collective. And yeah, it's still a question that I have very often. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and how these kind of events can really be an invitation to tap into the things that we believe. And one of those things are the ignition of sacred activism. And as you say, we can show up for what we believe in different ways. There's people that, they have these gifts and they use them and they take the streets and they march, or they put ceremonies, or there's different ways in which we can be active agents of positive change. And we don't need to feel bad, like maybe you don't want to take the streets and be on the riots, but maybe you are able to be a paradigm shifter with what you're writing, and you go on your social media and you support others with your messages. So I feel at the end it's about how we show up using our gifts.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your gifts? I know you've been studying some really cool stuff lately, something that's, yeah, really dear to my heart as well.
Well, that's also something that I have to thank the quarantine, having this time to dedicate um, and commit to my visions, to my life purpose. And one of those things, I I have a background in education, and when I was, oh, can you hear me?
I do. Something happened. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was a teacher and I was in the school system for a while, and I was not happy to be in the school system. I was very aware of the importance of shifting the way we're educating our kids, at least here in America. Um, so one of my missions and my purposes that was coming up was being a teacher outside of the box. So I took this time to enroll into a journey to become a psychedelic integration coach, which I recently finished my certification. So I graduated. And yeah, my love and passion for psychedelics as tools of healing and transformation. Um, yeah, it's something that it's been exploding and that I am bringing into the world.
Mm. Yeah, tell me a little bit more about it, because I know you and I, we had a session a couple of weeks ago after one of my ceremonies, which was really beautiful to have that space held for me to really kind of process my journey and the gifts that I received. Though, yeah, I'd love to hear from you. What is it to be? What does it mean for you to be a psychedelic integration coach? Like, how are you supporting people with that
Mm,
tool?
mm. Thank you, Phoenix. Well, I have been using psychedelics for a while, and the way it all started was mainly recreational, which again, there's nothing wrong. Recreational is part of recreating yourself and allowing play. And I feel like as adults, something that we sometimes lack is more play and opportunities to reinvent ourselves and to stop being so serious about who we think we are and invite the possibility of what else can we do or be if we just allowed ourselves to play with our personalities and to continue to reveal more of our soul. Like we can be 30, 40, 50, whatever the earth age you want to have, and there's always something new to reveal. And something that I really like to about working with plant medicines is the possibility to explore your consciousness and to tap deeper into the relationship that you have with yourself, the relationship that you want to invite with, the great mystery, the big spirit, and the possibility to tune into the energies that we're usually not aware or don't want to invite. But when we tap into these spaces, we're allowing, other universes and other realms to just be there and coexist with us.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, woman of my heart. Yeah, I really appreciate what you've been doing. And yeah, like one of the things that we spoke about before coming onto this call, and it's like you're my relationship, what a unique relationship it is. It's like,
Mm,
and I feel like that's actually really interesting to bring up to the surface and to like discuss, because again, I feel like you and I we're continuing to like break these molds of, um yeah, like expanding the boxes of what's possible, this student teacher mentor friend relationship that you and I have. Like I already said, we met at the training. I was your teacher, your facilitator, and we've been working together. You've come to me to support you in your life's journey with the coaching that I offer. And yet, now we're working together as we're working together in the full moon and the new moon ceremonies. And of course they kind of like, I feel like I've taken you under my wing in a sense, which has been such a beautiful experience. But it is, these lines have been really blurred, because I love you so much, and you're such a dear sister, and I respect you so much, and I value you so much. And in being your coach, being your mentor, I've also, it's like I feel like I'm receiving just so much in holding the space for you. It's like that experience is also helping me to grow and expand and see myself more clearly, and to see the gifts that I have to bring to other people. It's like I tell everybody, you're like the dream, like my dream, my poster child for like the people I want to be working with all the time. Though I know kind of, professionally, it would be like, huh? This kind of like, huh, how does that work? So yeah, I'm just curious, like, yeah, if you want to talk about that with me, because I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, and it feels really true. And yeah, I just want to open that space for you to share.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. Thank you, Phoenix. Yeah, I believe we are multidimensional beings. So why not having a multidimensional relationship with someone that is also mirroring you? And I fucking love you. I am your fan number one. And the possibility of having this kind of relationship, as you say, it's also an invitation to come outside from the box and to break the mold, and to realize like, okay, we're multidimensional. We can invite these kind of relationships, and use different hats. Like one day we show up like, I am the mentee, you are the mentor, and you hold so gracefully that space for me. And then there's moments in which we can move into the friendship, and I'm there for you, and I want to be there for you, and I am grateful that you allow me to be there for you as sister, as friend. But then there's a line that it shifts, and we're able to move into these lines with grace and with ease, knowing that we also respect each other's boundaries, and an opportunity to exercise our yes and no, because
Yeah.
that's something that is very clear for us. And I feel people that want to move into these kind of relationships, they also need to be very strong into how they practice their yes and no, and to understand, like, if you are going to tap into these kind of levels, you also need to be good in the ways that you hold yourself with accountability and with respect, because at the end it's all coming from the heart.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's definitely been like one of my own, I would say one of my edges as a teacher, as a mentor, as a facilitator, as a human. Like I remember when I was younger, or even my late 20s, early 30s, and kind of studying with these teachers that I really respected and I admired. It was like I put them up on this pedestal, and I know I often tell you, like, knock me down, don't put me on a pedestal. Take me off of it. Because it really got me into so much. It got me into so much. I don't want to say like inner trouble, like inner struggle, where I put somebody up on the pedestal and they like didn't meet that place, and then it was kind of like, I'm also powerful. Like, let me take them off that pedestal, and it caused some real rifts with some of my teachers and some of my mentors in the past, and that was like the model that I had of what it meant to be a teacher. I've been a school teacher my whole life. It's kind of like, I'm the teacher and you're the student, and I feel like something inside of me just really doesn't hasn't ever really resonated with that, and I feel like you've been giving, like, our connection has really been giving me a lived experience of what it means to kind of like, we're all part of this, we're part of this circle, and it's, I have these tools, I have this information that I've been practicing, that I've been embodying for this amount of time, that's like, on the same path, a few steps ahead. I can kind of see, because I'm a bit older or have a bit more experience, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, this is what I've been cultivating, and this is what I have, and like, let me show you what it is. While in like another moment, it can be like, you have an expertise in a certain area, and I can be your student, and I feel like that's one of the main teachings that we definitely share in the dancing freedom training, is this idea of flocking, and how can we bring this idea of birds flocking into the leadership realm. And that's something that I know you really resonate with, and it's something that, yeah, I feel really in solidarity with you on, and it's something that I feel really passionate about, because I feel together we go further, and just like the birds that are kind of going across the planet or cross country migrating, it's like there's not always just one bird at the front of the flock. Like, the fuck, it would get really tiring to be at the lead for that, 1,000-mile distance to get to the south when it's cold in the north, and how they take these turns. There's like the one bird at the front, and then everybody's in support, and that one bird goes to the back and somebody else takes the lead. And this has been such a, yeah, I feel like this is one of the ways in which I see reality, and then one of the ways that I really want to continue developing my leadership, and the kind of people that I choose to kind of bring into my flock, other people that want to be part of this flock, where I can be supported to lead, and then I can also be a follower, or be in support to allow somebody else to lead. And yeah, it's just, that's one of the things that you continue to remind me, that's okay, and that really serves me. I actually feel it has the potential to serve life and this new paradigm shift that we're in. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it feels like a very, very sustainable paradigm. The possibility to be teachers and students at the same time as we grow, as we evolve. And the way you say how I found you, it's so important that once we realize what our gifts and talents are, to find someone that can take us deeper into that path, someone that is already there, that it's walking the talk as you do, and find that person and learn, and just be there, honor the teachings, honor the this um yeah, the teachings, the teacher, whatever is evolving in that relationship.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So, is there anything else that you feel you want to talk about? I'm at a bit of a loss in this moment. I'm sure something will come in a moment, though. I'm curious if there's anything you're inspired to talk about, to share, what to
Yeah,
ask.
well, we just, as you say, we just finished offering the moon ceremonies, and it's something I have been so grateful to have been doing with you. I strongly believe in the power of intention, in the power of prayer, and coming together in this ceremony is such a gift for me. And I'm also not an astrologer, or like, deep into astrology and everything going on, but I do like to tap in the moon and to tune into these energies, and to plant new seeds for the month, to work on manifesting whatever I want to bring into my life. And ever since I started doing this with you, and also listening to others praying, I feel it's such a gift to come together to magnify these prayers. And I
Mm,
adore and admire this work that you have been doing.
yeah, it's been so good. It's been so good to come together twice a month and pray with the moon. And again, these offerings, as you know, was started because I was in the States living at my mom's house
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
going through my own grief process and not having my fire to light my fire here in Australia, or my ceremonies
Mhm.
that I was so used to being in under the moon by myself with my local family and community. And yeah, it's just really shifted into something so precious because yeah, this power of praying together, it's so it's just so so good. Like I just really, every time we finish one, I just feel so activated and so high and elevated. And again, it's just like this humbling, this bowing down to this bigger prayer that I feel is really calling each of us into itself, in like forward, and I mentioned it the other day and I'll mention it again. It's just like, how can I be like in support, in service to this bigger prayer,
Mhm.
and like trusting that these personal prayers, my the prayers that I have for my life, the prayers that I have for my family, the prayers that I have for the earth, like this is all part of this bigger prayer. And I'm just like, yeah, trusting, surrendering, and listening, just taking these steps forward without necessarily knowing where it is that I'm headed or where it's taking me, though trusting that the prayers that are moving through, or these intentions or these wishes or these wants or these desires, whatever word we want to give the prayer, um, that it's actually working in collaboration with us to bring us towards this fuller expression of being ourselves, this fuller expression of being human. And so yeah, it's been such a pleasure to create these spaces together for other people, for ourselves, and for other people to come together and pray. Like I was raised in a Catholic family, and when I left kind of the church, it was like, oh, prayer, it just was like a bad word to me, and now these past few
Mhm.
years have been such a reclamation of that, and ceremony has been such a big part of it. Yeah, and I do feel like that's one of my purposes here on this earth, is to really like be a beacon for the prayer, be a beacon for prayer, and be a beacon for listening to what that bigger prayer that's calling us forth is. And yeah, it's just been such a blessing to have people alongside me who are just like, yeah, let's do it together. So yeah, thank you so much, sister. Yeah.
Thank you, Phoenix. You are a
Yeah.
powerful beacon for prayers.
Mm,
Mm,
likewise, likewise.
mm,
So yeah, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty complete for now. I thank you for showing up with me in quarantine, and yeah, keeping tabs on me across my journey, and being one of my fans. I admit
yeah.
I love being fanned. And my ego my ego likes being fanned, though I do also appreciate the, yeah, learning, remembering to be to be humble in the face of just these other, you as a beautiful reflection, someone who admires
Mm,
me and respects me. And also, again, like, I want to just take this opportunity to say, like, I deeply see you, I deeply admire you and respect you,
mm,
and such an honor to be on this path with you, wherever it takes us, interdimensionally, multidimensionally. Like, yeah, we're walking together.
mm. Just as teacher Ramda said, we're walking each other home, and that
Mm,
truly resonates.
yeah, yeah. Well, thank you for being here with me and for
Oh,
showing up,
thank you.
taking a leap into the unknown with me. Yeah, we'll be
Mm,
in touch really soon, sister. Much love.
much love to you. Thank you for
Enjoy the
having me.
snow. Did you say there's
Mm,
snow there?
yeah, this morning the first snowflakes show up, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not ready for this. I'm still in the fall time."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe it's just a sprinkle for now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
Mm,
Bless you,
so
sister.
much love. Thank
Much
you.
love to you. Ciao, ciao. Bye,
Bye.
Facebook land.
Bye.